Hi, my name is Krista, and welcome to this instructional video on the upper quarter Y balance test. This test is a functional assessment tool used to evaluate upper body stability, mobility, and asymmetries, particularly in athletes and individuals undergoing rehabilitation. By measuring reach distances in different directions while maintaining stability, the test provides valuable insight into shoulder function, core control, and potential injury risk. It is commonly used in sports performance, physical therapy, and injury prevention programs to help identify weaknesses and imbalances that could impact movement, efficiency, and overall performance. Now let's get into the materials that are needed for this. Are these things and what I use them for? So as you could see, I have a data sheet where I take down my measurements as soon as the individual is done pushing the cup. You can see I have cups. But to start off, I place my blue tape down to perform the Y balance or to identify the Y. I use the protractor there. It's a printable protractor that will show me 135 degrees between each label, um, between each section, I'm sorry. And then I have the measuring tape. So after the individual pushes the cups, each trial, I will go over there and measure how far they pushed it. This was only in inches, but you should probably do it in centimeters. So because I had to change all my measurements from inches to centimeters to be more realistic. And then I also have my markers to mark how far this cup went. And you'll also see further along in the video, I use this little postcard to label the reach that the individual was doing during the time. But yeah, now you'll get into see how I prepared for this test. So here's the preparation phase of the whole thing. I'll be using the blue tape to make the Y. So you start off first with this straight line, and then now I'm going to grab the protractor and make it 135 degrees for the second one that I'm about to put down. It does take me quite a while. You're going to see in a minute that my paper flies away quite a bit. So it was windy today. And yeah, from this I'll start with the next tape and create 135 degrees. Now for this part, I'm also going to be measuring 135 degrees on the other side so everything is equal between each section. And you'll see again, I'll be using the protractor to make the 135 degrees on the other side. Now you see that I've created my Y. I'm going to place that marker to show where the start point should be and the cups for the individual to push. And yeah, that's how you set it up. So before I go into the videos of the individual actually pushing the cups, I wanted to go over the testing procedures that you're going to see in this video. To perform the upper quarter Y balance test, the subject will reach in 3 different directions while keeping their support hand in place. The first reach direction is medial, which requires reaching across the body. The second direction is inferior lateral, where the participant reaches diagonally downward. The final direction is superior lateral, which involves reaching diagonally upward. Each reach is performed 3 times per side, and the farthest reach is recorded. It is important to emphasize proper technique, ensuring that the subject moves in a controlled manner without compensating by twisting excessively or lifting the stabilizing hand. Common errors include poor shoulder control, lack of core stability, and inconsistent reach efforts, all which should and was monitored to maintain the accuracy of the test. Now you'll see in the following videos of me conducting the test and the individual performing it. So the subject is starting with his dominant hand first. Labeled A was the medial reach, B was the superior lateral reach, and then C was the inferior lateral reach. And then each time you'll see, after each trial, I will go in and do the measurements. So watch as he does each trial. I also want you guys to notice that each time he pushes the cup, before he pushes the cup, that he's getting up in a push-up position. This can't be done with your knees down because the test wouldn't be as accurate. So I want to make sure I emphasize that while you guys watch. You see that lift, and then he'll push. Now this is where he starts with his non-dominant hand, which is his right side, and each time I'll go back in and do the measurements like you see and place the cups back, because you want to make sure the cups are back so when the next trial starts it's easier to do it. So as you can see, I will be taking the measurements in this video. I'm showing like each trial. I'll go back and measure each time, starting with when he started with his dominant hand and then his non-dominant hand. So we take these measurements to access upper body stability, mobility, and potential imbalances between the dominant and non-dominant sides by measuring how far a person can reach in different directions while maintaining control. We can identify weaknesses, asymmetries, or movement limitations that may increase the risk of injury or affect performance. These measurements help trainers, therapists, and athletes track progress over time, make training or rehabilitation plans, and improve overall movement efficiency and injury prevention strategies. Ensuring accurate and consistent measurements is a key to getting reliable results and making informed decisions based on the data that is collected. When it comes to interpreting the results, after recording the reach distances, the results can be analyzed to check for differences between the dominant and the non-dominant side. A large difference between the two sides may show muscle imbalances, weaknesses, or injury risk. So normative values or like standard scores could help individuals compare to expected averages. If someone reaches is much shorter than the average, it might mean that they have a reduced mobility or stability in their shoulder area. But several things could affect the test results, like fatigue, flexibility, core strength, and shoulder stability, all play a role in how well someone will perform. To get the best results, the test should be done under consistent conditions, such as the same time of day and after a proper warm-up. So my individual, he played football all his life. He was D1 and everything. So he just had graduated after playing like 4 years of D1. So, and he never had any like shoulder problems. It was all in his legs. So he might have had something for like the lower body when it came to that stability test. But I think he did an overall great job of like performing the test. There was no problems. He didn't have an error. If I were to do it, I would have been shaking because me in a plank, it just doesn't happen. But he had great form, great stability, didn't go out of it. There was no errors. We never had to go back and forth. So yeah, so doing this test, it was a proper technique to show what it would be for shoulder mobility. So to close out this video, the upper quarter wide balance test is obviously a helpful way to check shoulder stability, movement control, and injury risk for individuals that are going through their shoulder problems, and to basically set up a plan for them to see how far they could go or what they need to fix. It would be easier for like personal trainers and physical therapy to plan that. So obviously, like I said before, it's used in sports training and physical therapy to find imbalances that could lead to injuries. To improve accuracy, the test should be done careful with proper technique and positioning. If an individual has like a bunch of errors and falling out of it, you're not going to get anywhere, and you're never going to find out the real mobility that an individual could have. So there are ways to improve or modify the test. For example, video analysis, like I did, or force plays can give more detailed feedback. Also, some people, like those recovering from injuries, may need adjustments to make the test easier and safer. You don't want somebody pulling out their back or like pulling out their shoulder and dislocating it in front of you. So some assessment applications. The upper quarter wide balance test can be used to check shoulder stability and control in sports like baseball, swimming, and volleyball, tracking rehabilitation progress after injuries, and finding movement imbalances that could lead to injuries. And also it helps trainers, like I said before, helps trainer and physical therapists to create better workout or rehab plans. So by using this test, professionals can help improve shoulder function, injury prevention, and athletic performance. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope y'all have a great day.